Hello everyone and welcome. I am Robin Armbrecht at Really Robin Stamps and you are joining me today for Papercrafting Playdate. Today is March 25th, 2022 and this is episode 52 of Papercrafting Playdate. I am so glad you are here. Whether you're watching me live today or you are watching on the replay, I am thrilled that you are joining me in my stamp space. And hopefully you are ready to learn something new or see something new about making some cards with paper. That's what we're doing. All right, so I promised you a fun fold today, and the name of our fun fold is an accordion tent fold. So hopefully that intrigues you, and let's get right to it. I'm going to flip the camera around and we'll get started. How is everyone today on this Friday? Let's make sure the camera's not going to move because that's all right. That looks pretty good, pretty good. Let's see if I can find you on Facebook. There we go. Turn on the comments so I can see who's joining us today. Hi Cheryl, hi Sherry, hi Sonal. Let's move this up a little bit and over here. And we're gonna just zoom in a tiny bit. All right. Hi Wanda. Hi Wendy. Hi Susan. All right, so it's the end of March. We're having some lion-like March weather. What's it doing where you're at? Is it lioning or lambing where you're at? Hi Jonna, hi Pat. All right, so since it's the end of March, we just have a few days left to use my March Hostess code to get the March Incentive Card Making Kit. And I'm just going to review it one last time, but you're going to get all the pieces, piece of each of the beautiful Designer Series paper, 9 card bases, 2 yards of ribbon, all of these brads, all of these little embellishments, and then all of these beautiful stitched die cuts. And then I'm going to give you this amazing Pick 6 spring template is what I'm calling it, where you're going to be able to cut up the Designer Series paper and make all of these cards. It's going to be so much fun. I'm going to have a live class to put them together, and I'll have a recorded class so you can learn and cut along with me. It's going to be a lot of fun. So that's my spring Pick 6. You have to use the Hostess code when you place your order, and you get this kit for free. Your order minimum is $50 to get that kit. And let's see what else. But if you're going to place a big order because you've seen the retired list and you're like, oh my goodness, I need to get some things. Hi, Lynn. Then if you're going to spend over $150, don't use the code because you will be a hostess all on your own and you will get your own free stuff with that order. Plus you'll get my card making kit. Okay. All right. So I promised a fun fold today and I want to review because I have a lot of brand new stampers who are just learning how to cut paper, right? So it's always great to review some things. So we've got 2 ways to cut a basic fold, a basic card. You start with 8.5 by 11 cardstock. If you cut it in half exactly at 5.5, you're going to get 2 A2 size cards, just a regular invitation size card from 1 piece of paper. That's just your basic card, right? If you cut your paper in half the long way at 4 1/4 inches, okay, you're going to get 2 cards that are cut this way. It's the exact same size. It's just cut differently. It opens a little bit differently, right? That's your basic card. Anything else Any other way to fold a card is a fun fold or a fancy fold. So don't let that terminology confuse you. All it means is you're doing something different, right? And so I just have these basic little generic things to show you. So this is a gate fold, right? And you score it differently and it opens that way. And of course you can make a gate fold in both directions, right? So that's a fun fold because it's different, right? But it's called a gate fold. You can do a Z fold, all right? That's the same size here. All you're doing is folding back the front and you get that little Z, right? That's a Z fold in that direction. Here is a Z fold this way, right? There's your Z. Okay, it's a fun fold. It's different. That's all it means. If you hear the term double Z fold, all that means is you're adding on an extra piece like this. You're attaching that to your card and you have this little extra space here to attach things to, right? That's a double Z. See? Double Z. Super easy. And of course, you can make a pocket card too with a half sheet. You fold it over that way. So today is a fun fold called an accordion tent fold. I have never made one of these before. I'm super excited to show you. So we're going to start with, here are the directions. We're going to start with a full-size sheet of card. I'm going to show you how to cut the whole thing. All right, so our card base on the accordion tent fold is 5.5 by 11. You're welcome, Faye. I always forget, right? Hi, Heidi. Hi, Jaylene. Hi, Lori. Hi, Rebecca. Did I miss anybody? Hi, Sarah. Sarah, it's gloomy. Okay, well, it's gloomy here too. It's been raining all week. All right, so let's make the base here 5.5 by 11. So we're going to cut it this way. So this fold, you can't get 2 cards from one. You just get 1 card and you save this piece in your stash. So this is 5.5 by 11. And now we're going to score it at these marks here. So we're going to score essentially every 1 3/4. Whoops, let's move the cutting blade so we don't accidentally cut. So we're gonna cut at 1 3/4, 3.5, 5 1/4, and then 7. So and I flip my arm out here and we'll do 7. So it's every 1 3/4. And this leaves you with a card base that is 4 inches. So it's just a tiny bit narrower than your typical A2 size card. All right, so here's how you fold the accordion. This is going to be the base. Heidi, it's snowing. Oh my goodness. Where are you at, Heidi? I'm so sorry it's snowing. Hi, Paula. All right, so this is your card base, and now we're going to accordion fold, right? So accordion folding is like fan folding. It's basically the same thing, and that's where you flip it back and forth. And that word comes from the actual like accordion instrument and those folds that are in the bellow that creates like the music, right? So that's where the name accordion fold comes from. Does anybody actually know how to play the accordion? Did anybody get the opportunity to learn that? It's kind of a lost instrument. All right, you see how I just folded these back like this? And I'm gonna just give them a good score, or a good press here on the score lines. All right, so here's my accordion, right? Okay. So this is the base of the card, Now I'm going to add this feature that I saw. I saw a couple other demonstrators making this kind of card, and I thought this is so cool. So the tent is like a little mini card. All right, so we're going to have a mini card that is 3 3/4 by 5 1/2. Okay, and you score that in half at 2 3/4. So I just made one out of basic white cardstock. Okay, and also just so you can kind of see where we're going, this is going to attach on our accordion, and when you open it, it's going to like stretch. All right, but let's go ahead and decorate this base first. So what I wanted to do was bring in some of this on the horizon paper, because I hadn't played with it for a while. It has all these gorgeous watercolored little scenes. Excuse me, it's great paper. This paper, actually we're going to use the stamp set that goes with it. This is in the January to June mini catalog on page 43. So here's the paper, New Horizons, and then here is the On the Horizon with the dies. So I thought it'd be fun to make a card here. And I want to make kind of a masculine card. So I'm going to cover these strips with designer series paper, and I'm going to use this paper right here. So the strips that you need, I think I actually didn't write down. That was silly. The strips are going to be, let me make sure I tell you the exact right thing, 1 1/2 by 5 1/4. And you need 4 of those. All right, so I want this scene to kind of go on my, across my little folds here. So I am going to trim this down to 5 1/4 first, because that is the length. And we'll save that little piece for something else. And then I'm going to cut at 1 1/2. And guess what? 1 1/2 times 4 is 6 inches. So this works out absolutely perfectly. And there's our little scene. And now we're going to glue them on. There we go. So that we'll get, as this card opens, we'll get this cute little scene on there. I absolutely love the fact that even though I've been stamping a long time, as well as some of you have been stamping a long time, there's still like, I still get surprised. I still get, I still find folds and patterns and things that surprise me and delight. You know, they're just, it's fun. It's just such a great, playing with paper. It's just so awesome because you're always learning something new. All right, so there's our little scene. And so I want to cover this one too. Instead of leaving it white, we're going to, so I'm just going to cut another piece of this, and look how it'll just continue the scene over here. All right, so I'm going to cut it at 5 1/4 again to make it the same width. And then since that card base is 4 inches wide, we're going to do 3 3/4. And then this will go on the inside. So I'll have a continuous little scene on the inside of this card. Isn't that fun? I mean, I'm kind of happy with that. You could just plop a little greeting on there and send it. But we're going to just step it up a little bit more. So let's work on the mini card. So one of the things that you can do with this little mini card is find a contrasting designer series paper and attach that so you've got just a little bit extra. So I thought it would be fun to bring in the back side of this because it has the same, you know, Blackberry Bliss and the Misty Moonlight and Night of Navy. So I thought that would look kind of cool. So we're going to cut 2 pieces to mount on here, and those are going to be 2.5 by 3.5. And I want them to go this way. So I'm going to turn and cut 3.5 first, just to save on paper. And then I'm going to cut 2.5 and 2.5. And then we'll put these here. You could definitely leave this white, and I'm going to show you an example that I did with that as well, and you can just stamp on it. You don't have to cover everything with designer series paper, but I thought this would be kind of fun to play with. So on the front of my card, I would like to create a little scene. And this is where I thought it would be great to pull in this On the Horizons stamp set. And it has all these great little scenery dies here. And so I took the trees, the tree line, the solid mountains, and then this little, could be land, could be water piece. And I cut them out of coordinating cardstock colors. This is Blackberry Bliss and Night of Navy and Misty Moonlight. And we're just going to glue these on the front and then cut them off at the edges because they're a little bit big. So let's do land or water, however you see that. And then we'll do the mountains. And then we'll do the tree line. I love this card because it's a great little layout and design that is great for men. The elusive masculine card. All right, so there is our little scene. And now we'll just cut these off. I just had somebody ask me today on one of my videos how you clean your scissors, and mine clearly need to be cleaned. They're very sticky. And I just have something at home that is like an adhesive remover, kind of like Goo Gone. And I just rub my scissors. I actually rub onto the, when I get sticky on the back of my paper trimmer, I clean that up as well. All right, I love that. I think that is really cool. So now we'll put our greeting right on top of the designer series paper. And let's see, we're gonna layer some greetings here, because we've got a lot of extra spots, so that makes it kind of fun. So we're going to put Thinking of You on the front. And we'll do this in black. I'm just going to stamp right on the designer series paper. Like that. And then on this one, we'll put Relax and enjoy your day. And then we'll attach this to the front. So this is pretty easy. You can use liquid glue. You're going to put just a little bit here and a little bit here, and it's going to attach. I'll show you this version here. It's going to attach like that. I'm going to use a different adhesive today, the Seal Plus. And so all I do is I kind of crunch this together, keep this part open, and then center it without pressing down. I'm just going to center it in the middle of the card. And then press down. All right, watch what this does. This is pretty fun. What do you think? I'm super excited about this. All right, so now I cut a piece for the inside, 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. It's just exactly the same as 1/2 of this, and that's what's going to go over here, and it'll be hidden by this when it's closed. But that's where you can put your greeting, or your inside greeting, or your message. Obviously, this is beautiful. You could just stamp and write right on here. You wouldn't have to add another layer. So I'm just going to do this. This is because I have got the liquid glue on there. I know I'll be able to move it around if it wiggles, but I'm just going to line it up with the back side of that, and then very carefully close it, and then check to make sure it's straight. And then I'll get it right behind that piece right there. Oh, good. You guys are liking that? Awesome. You were being kind of quiet there. All right, so one last greeting here. I love it when the greetings in a stamp set all kind of coordinate together. So we'll layer this one on here too. Wishing you so much happiness. Thank you, Wendy. This wasn't my idea. I saw somebody else come up with this, or, you know, showcase it. There's lots of different samples out there, but it was new to me and I was very excited about it. And let's go ahead and stamp these little birds because we can. We'll use some Misty Moonlight. Make sure they are in the right direction here. And we'll put some birds there. All right, so that is an accordion tent fold. Now, do you see why it's called a tent fold? Here's the accordion, and then there's that kind of tent on top. So that's why it has that name. All right, now, couple things. So this that I showed you here, this bundle, this paper, right? This is in this mini catalog, and it will still be, you know, available technically through the end of June. But something happened this week that was very exciting. We got to, as demonstrators, see the next annual catalog. We got to see it online. So this current catalog that you have goes from last year, May, to the end of next month, April. And then starting in May, again, there's going to be a brand new book. So what happens in April, the month before it goes live, is that we get to know what is not going to carry over and is going away. And so the last chance list, you might have heard about that, that has come out this week. And so as demonstrators, we're busy marking our catalogs and trying to figure out what, you know, what things are still available. Anyway, this list will be linked in the description box or in the with this video in case you haven't seen it or you want to take a look at it. I color-coded mine to hopefully make it a little bit easier. Mine didn't all print, but there's different little asterisks over here that are to note certain things. There are some things that are still going to be in the next catalog that are bundled together right now as like a stamp set and dies. Those things are both going to be in the catalog again, but they won't be a bundle anymore. So they have a certain color code, right? So if you wanted to save that 10% and get them when they're bundled together, you would want to, do that before the new catalog. Some things are on sale, so I marked everything that's on sale in yellow, and I just color coded it, tried to make it easier. Now, you are going to need some really good magnifying glasses to look at this when it's printed. It's possible, but it's a little painful. So I have an online version as well. And of course, you can always go to the online store and you can search, and everything will be right there that's retired. It is while supplies last, so things are already selling out, last minute. So just be aware of that when you go to look. Okay, now here is our accordion tent fold, and let me show you some other versions. So this is exactly the same, but instead of this size mini card, there's a square one. All right, so it just looks a little bit different because the card is different, but everything else is exactly the same. So it just kind of, this piece right here is pretty flexible. You can make this little card to, coordinate with whatever stamp set that you are using. So there's that one. And then I made like a more feminine, I guess, one. If this is our masculine version, here is kind of a little bit more feminine version with a different scene, which I love this. I love this paper. It's so beautiful. And then I made one that is just on basic white. And then as I was putting it together, I realized that these looked like the Ukraine colors, right? And I thought, well, that's really cool. I'm just going to go ahead and use that as my theme. But then I also put all of the in colors on the inside just to play with them one last time. So these are the in colors that have been around for 2 years. So that means they're heading out, and we're going to get 5 additional brand new in colors. And so I thought this was kind of cool. So there, it's like, it's a little surprise when you open the cards, right? It's fun. Now, I want you to see something here, because this happens, right? So I have been just loving this card all week. I'm obsessed with it. Been carrying it around with me, trying to get my PDF put together and things like that. Well, of course, today I dropped it in my black ink pad, which I had left open too long, right? This happens. I've got some black ink up here and over here. And, it's upsetting, but you can always usually fix your mistakes. And so I just wanted to show you something that I do. Let's move that over there. So when that happens, you can do a couple things. Crying is not one of them because, it's paper and it's a craft. So things are not going to be perfect. But you can just find like a smudgy background stamp. So I'm picking this one that's from the Nature's Harvest, but there's a bunch of them. Anything that's kind of a little background stamp. And you can just add more black marks, okay? So like if this upsets you, just turn away. It's okay. You don't have to watch. But I'm going to just show you one thing that you can do. Let me find a piece of scratch paper here. You can just kind of fix those marks by making them a little bit more and just putting them everywhere, because there was an oops, right? Now in this case, it's not so bad because I stamped all of my greetings in black. So you can just add some more. Of course, you can get some of that ink off and you can just even rub it a little bit and then get a little bit of little smudge, right? So there you go. You just add more. You add more. Or add a few more. Whatever the mistake is, you can fix it. All right, so now this was the cardstock version. I want to show you how to do the same kind of fold, but using designer series paper, because this is a great option for using up a lot of your designer series paper if you've got a stash. So the dimensions and everything are very similar. So here's this one. So this one requires, Lynn says, what happens to me? The corners get bent-eared. Yep. Yep. Yeah. You know what you do then, Lynn, is you just bend all the other corners and you pretend it's distressed, right? You just run your fingernail around the card or a pair of scissors and you just kind of rough it up and that you pretend that it's supposed to be distressed, right? That's what you do. Okay, so for this one, our accordion is going to be created out of designer series paper. So we have to have a card base. So this is just the a quarter panel that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then here is our designer series paper. And then we have our mini card, we have our inside, and then I have the coordinating colors to go on that. So the good news is you score this exactly the same way. You score it at 1 3/4. I keep covering that up, it's not very helpful. 3 1/2. 5 1/4, and then 7. Okay, this is going to be your card base. And then you accordion fold that. So what's really cool when you use designer series paper, of course, is that you get to see the pattern on the other side, which is really fun. And this goes right onto here. All right, so there's our accordion. Here's our mini card. Let's put our papers on that. So the mini card I'm doing is the same size as the first one, but again, you could go ahead and do a square version. This is for the inside. So we're going to attach that like that. Let's put our focal point together. So one of the things, the die sets that is going to be retiring are these Stitch So Sweetly dies. So these have been a staple. If you don't have them and you think you love stitched things, you probably want to go ahead and get them. So the Stitch So Sweetly. So I used this piece. I'm going to I love pairing this stamp set with this Hello, or it's called You're a Peach designer series paper. And we're going to do Hello You on this little stitched label. We're going to keep it very simple. And then I thought it would be fun to bring in some punches. This flowers and leaves punch, again, matches all the flowers in this designer series paper. I didn't get the peach set, just decided to go with the paper. So that means I have to come up with other things. And thankfully, I think this Shaded Summer works really well with so many different stamp sets. And so these dies, these were free during the August-September in 2021 celebration. They are going to be in the next catalog. So that's really fun. You'll be able to purchase them if you didn't earn them for free, but you have this stamp set. So that is exciting. And then I'm just used the bow punch so that I could get some leaves. And then we'll put this all together here. Just going to keep this one very simple. So we're going to pop up these little flowers. I'm just going to tear this little stem off of that leaf so that I can tuck it underneath. And we'll just put a little leaf underneath there. Do the same thing with this one. Since there's a dimensional underneath there, I couldn't stick that stem all the way in, so that helps to just trim it off a little bit. So there is our little focal point there. So hello you. And then on the inside, we want to put one of the other greetings. So I'm going to do love you friend. I'm just going to put it right on the designer series paper to make it easy, but you could put another little label there if you wanted to. And then on the inside of the card, I'm going to put the other greeting, some friendships are just meant to be. All right, let's put this together. So again, the adhesive goes on the back, just on those edges. I'll use the liquid glue this time. And so again, I'm just gonna kind of crunch these together, center this, and then press it down. And then for the inside, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to line it up with that card, close it, and then just make sure it's straight, which it is. All right. So you can see when you make it with designer series paper, just kind of changes it up a little bit, gives you the opportunity to showcase more sides, right? All right, we need some centers in our flowers, so let's bring in the iridescent rhinestones because they go with everything. And we'll use one of these large ones and then a medium. I love it when the embellishments come in 3 sizes. It makes it so easy to layer them. All right, so that is how you do the exact same card, but you do it with designer series paper. Now, let's just compare for a second. This is when you make it with cardstock, it's a pretty thick card. You probably will need an extra postage if you're going to mail it. otherwise just, you know, hand deliver this kind of special card. With the designer series paper, I think you're going to be fine with one postage stamp on there. Obviously, it depends on how embellished you make the front. This is a pretty big embellishment, so just keep that in mind. So when you make it with designer series paper, you get kind of that full card base, right? So it's just a 1/4 of an inch wider than with the cardstock version. Okay, I like that one. Hello, Judy. Hi, Mindy. Hey, Judy, we were just talking about people who, I asked if anybody knew how to play the accordion, and your husband's the only person I know who can play the accordion. So here's another one. This is with the tulip paper, and again, here is a different size card just to kind of show the versatility and the fact that it doesn't have to be a rectangle. You can make it a square. So that gives you the opportunity to just put a lot of little greetings in there, which makes your card very, very extra special. Right? I think those are super cute. Very sweet. Okay, now hold on, because I'm going to show you one more way to make an accordion tent fold. And we're going to size it down. We're going to make a mini. This is very fun. Okay, so let's change up our measurements here. So for this one, you're going to need the same 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card base. And then we're going to cover that with designer series paper. Let's just go ahead and do that right now. Oh, isn't that pretty? I love this paper. Such pretty colors together. So I'm going to use that side. All right, and then this is where our mini accordion tent fold is going to sit on. So let's put that aside for a minute, and we'll bring back the paper cutter. So the piece to use for your mini accordion is a piece that is 4 1/4 by 10 inches. So it's an inch shorter, and then obviously a little bit less wide as well. And you actually score it exactly the same. 1 3/4, 3 1/2, 5 1/4, 7. So I've already done that. Here's the base. And then here's our accordion. It's a mini. Okay, so let's put this on this little mini base here. So this is Evening Evergreen. Now I haven't made any differently, but you wouldn't have to put the tent on there. You could just put a focal point on there, and it would just kind of be a card that expanded like that. The tent helps to kind of keep the accordion under control a little bit, so it's not so wild. But if you wanted to use a belly band on like a larger version of this and not do the tent part, that would be a whole nother way to create with these cards. So there's lots of ways directions you can go with this. So here's our little mini card, and that's 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. And I cut some of the little designer series paper to put on there. Again, you wouldn't have to cover this. You could leave this white and stamp your image right on there. It just depends on kind of what you're, do you want to showcase the designer series paper? Do you want to showcase stamping? This has tiny little script on it. I want to make sure it's going the right way. So we'll put that one there. And that one there. Now I already pre-cut some of the dies. This is the Artfully Layered bundle. And it has these fun tropical leafy dies. So I used, I mimicked the paper and I used this one to create that leaf, and I used that one to create that leaf, to just kind of create a little focal point on there. And then I brought in some of the bumblebee, because that will pull in all the colors from this designer series paper. So we'll just make a little cluster right there. And I think for this one, I'm going to glue this card on first. Let me think about that. Hey there. Let's see. Maybe we need to stamp our sentiment. I don't know if that will fit. I think we'll put that on the inside. All right. Let's add our little tent. Like that. Okay, now we're gonna glue. So this is fun, since this is going to sit on here. You can like extend your embellishments right off the side of that little mini card. It'll look cute. Here, we'll go ahead and put this on as well. Okay, so let's add, I'm just going to put glue right down the middle where the stem is, and that way the rest of it can kind of hang off. And let's see, we're going to put that there. So let's put, we'll put that one going the other way. And then we'll pop up our little hey there, right in the middle. Well, not quite in the middle. Let's do it right there. Okay. Cute, right? And we'll put our inside for our inside greeting. And now we can put sending all the hugs. On the inside. So this bundle is also in the January to June mini catalog, and it is not going into the main, the new main book. So it is temporary until it's gone. All right, let's add a little bit of embellishment here. This set of dies, I wanted to point out, this is what I used for this guy here. This is called Tasteful Labels. It's been around for a few years. It is also retiring. This is another go-to set. It's got some stitched kind of dies, and it has some that are just like double embossed when they, like the edges are embossed. They're really pretty. It's got this great little tag. So I wanted to point out that that is going away. And these are the temporarily available Rhinestone Waves Basic Jewels, right? They're available right now, but only while supplies last. This has so many fun colors of blues and greens that both the green and the this blue color really coordinate with this paper as well. So I'm going to use a couple of these green ones, or these, I guess I'm going to use this one here. Like that, just to give it a little pop. All right, what do you think about the mini? I bet you can think about somebody that you know who would love a fun little card like this. So I brought back the Your Peach paper, and then these are those dies that I told you are coming back that go with the shaded summer. Get you thinking here. So here's another version with some different paper. It's so much fun, right? Fun folds are so much fun. So I was playing around with this one too. This is a folded differently, but I thought it would be fun to see if you could just kind of close it with some ribbon, and you absolutely can. It looks really cute on this version. So this one's folded differently, and it opens the opposite way. So like I said, you can really take this project and you can adjust the measurements and the size of the little tent card. You can make it work for you and your paper or whatever you've got going on, and whatever you want your message to be. All right, there we go. We've got Accordion Tent Folds 3 ways using Designer Series paper, and using cardstock. All right, does anybody have a favorite? You like the mini, Jaylene? Love the peachy mini. Great. Oh, I'm so glad you guys like the mini version. Thank you. Thank you, Lori. Thanks, Wendy. How can we choose? You guys are so sweet. Thank you so much. I had a lot of fun this week playing with these, so I will post pictures of these and the directions as always on my blog. And if you are watching this and you are not on my email list, I'm going to encourage you to subscribe to my email. I'll put a link in the description as well, because I started a new email service, which is so much better than what I was using. So if you want to be in the know and you want to, know all that stuff and see all the stuff and know what's going on, definitely join my email list. I would appreciate it. So, okay, now I know you're leaving, but look, I've got one more thing to show you that I'm going to have to save for another time. So I was looking at all kinds of accordion folds, and I found this really fun version too. So I have to make a few more, and then I'll post this one too. But this one is an inside, this is my name for it, an inside accordion card. All right, so because when you open it, the accordion goes like that. Isn't that cute? I've never made anything like that before. This is really fun because you can put in all kinds of little messages, right? If you need to make a card, let's say it's for a coworker and everybody needs to sign it, you can fit like 9 different little, depending on the size of your shape, you can fit all kinds of little pieces or punches or die cuts on these folds, and then everybody could have a space to sign, right? Plus you've got these 2 places here for a greeting or more signatures. One of the samples I saw with this use these little spaces to write like all the things they appreciate about a person, like all their positive attributes kind of thing. So it's kind of like a inspirational card. I thought, oh my goodness, that's so cute. So I have to make a couple more of these, and then I will have to share those directions as too. But this is the surprise accordion on the inside. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching today, and I hope that you play along. Get out your paper and your paper cutter, your score tool, and your adhesive, and get a little messy and play with some paper. All right, thank you so much. Till next time, bye.